What's up, y'all? Capone Tony here, and welcome to another Ever Crisis video. So it is content update day in Ever Crisis. We have a few things to go through here. We got a new limit break banner draw, which is the first thing I'll get into, and it's something that I don't think many people expected. We got Lucia. We got more in the critical threat event for Yuffie, the showdown. We got Guild Battle 13, new story content in the main story of Ever Crisis, well, OG FF7 story essentially, and it's a pretty big one. It's Aerith's Fate. It's end of disc 1, so yeah, definitely check that out. And we got login bonuses, so yeah, decent amount of things to go through here. But the first thing I'm always gonna do when I do one of these videos is cover the newest banner of the week, and it is Lucia. A lot of people, I think, were expecting Zack because he was teased in that live stream like a couple months ago. But yeah, it's not Zack, surprisingly. So we got Lucia. So let's check this out. I'm not gonna lie, man. I'd be simping for Lucia these days. I actually think this costume looks pretty cool. She kind of reminds me of that Shinra soldier, the blonde one that was from Rebirth. You know, she was like wearing a red outfit, but this one's black, kind of. And someone else said she kind of looks like M. Bison from Street Fighter because of the hat. But I don't know. I think this looks great. I actually love the aesthetics on this one. And yeah, it's going to be interesting. Limit break banner for Lucia. Let's see what she got. So Reprieve, automatically, Reprieve is just amazing. Our ability to have on any character in this game, just for clearing content, cheesing content. It's just so good to have on any character. So I say if you do plan on using Lucia in any type of content going forward, I would say absolutely at least pull until you get to the costume. Reprieve, always great. And then the next thing she got is buff debuff extension plus 40%, which is great also because she's more of a support character. And then she gets attack stance gauge, physical ability damage plus 20%, and fire damage plus 30%. So that is interesting. So I'm just going to go right into the weapon now. The Shinra Ceremonial Rifle. It does Napalm Assault, 450% physical fire damage at OB0. Also a stalemate. Enfeeble is applied. That is awesome. And then we got when HP is 50% more, fire damage is increased low to mid. And then first use condition, ATB gauge +1, all allies. Okay, that's a lot of stuff going on here with just one cast of this weapon. The R abilities boost attack all allies and buff debuff extension. This is a fantastic R ability weapon, not just for her, but like as a back weapon on any like support character. Really good. P attack, and triangle sigil boost. And now let's go to OB1. We're going from 450 to 540%. A little bit extra duration on the Enfeeble. A little bit extra duration on the Fire Damage Up AOE. And yeah, 3215. Now OB6. This is where it really starts to get good. So 700% physical fire damage. Enfeeble goes for 45 seconds now. And then you get mid to high on the AoE fire up. That's really cool because Matt is the only other character in the game that can do AoE fire up, and it's low to high, and it's really annoying. You have to cast 3 times. So having this weapon do 2 casts to get to high fire potency AoE is really cool. And then the ATB gauge increase goes to +2 all allies at OB6. So yeah, you get a lot of benefits at OB6 compared to before that. OB0, OB1, whatnot. 40 and 27 in the R abilities, and then we go to OB10 where we are at 840% fire damage, so a little bit of extra damage. You get Enfeeble for 15 more seconds, and then you get 20 seconds on the fire damage up. So OB6 to 10, not that huge of a difference here, so I'm glad they didn't do a big benefit for OB10 on a limited banner weapon. Like they were doing this on featured banner weapons, the last few ones where you would get a benefit at OB10, and I'm glad they didn't really do that for this weapon, so that is very good. What I think of this weapon, 4639 on this, by the way, boost attack all allies, buff debuff extension. This is a great stat stick. Really cool. 674 in the physical attack. So yeah, what do I think of this weapon? Yeah, it's like kind of like a sub DPS fire weapon, but the universal aspect of it that can be used for any build for Lucia is obviously Enfeeble. Enfeeble is just great to have on any support character in this game. I've noticed it with Cid and XIII. I have both their Enfeeble weapons only at OB1, and it's still been extremely useful in like guild battles, battle rankings, just like ranking events. You know, it's really nice to have, especially on a support character. And then you get AOE fire damage up mid to high, which you know, that's, you know, it's only going to help fire teams. Obviously, the fire damage, the fire AOE is only good for fire teams, so that kind of limits its use. But the universal aspect of it are obviously these R abilities are just fantastic as for her and for any support character to throw on the back. And then you get Enfeeble and this +2 ATB gauge first use. So these two aspects, universal. Or costume, having Reprieve, obviously universal. This R ability for 40% buff debuff, universal, so she can use this for any build that she puts together. But obviously the fire damage is only really good for fire teams, right? So yeah, that's the thing I don't like about it, obviously, is like you're limited to fire stuff for this limit break weapon, this limited weapon. Obviously it's tying into guild battle, but yeah, it's great weapon for fire teams. But it does have universal aspects because of Enfeeble, because of the ATB gauge, because of Reprieve, buff debuff extension, the R abilities on the weapon itself. So I would say don't look at this just as a fire weapon. I was kind of looking at that at first. I was like, damn, this is only really good for fire. But then you look at all the other things it does. That really makes it good for any kind of setup. Enfeeble, ATB gauge, Reprieve, amazing R abilities. So yeah, this weapon here for Lucia, I might pull on this, man. I really am considering it. She's going to be great for Guild War, obviously. Physical Fire Guild War. She's going to be a great support character. And kind of a sub DPS too. It depends how you build her. But yeah, she's going to be really good. And the thing about Lucia is, I assume a lot of people have not used her weapon parts. So she's going to be a very easy OB6, I feel, for a lot of people. Me included. I've used some of her weapon parts, but not many. I can check that real quick. So for Lucia, I still have 746 weapon parts. So that is guaranteed 3 overboosts right there just from weapon parts alone. And that's just her weapon parts. I could use universal parts or the other parts I've been saving in the item boxes, you know, things like that too. So that's what makes me want to pull on this limit break banner. Obviously, Enfeeble alone, I feel, is just great to have, even just one copy. Just having Enfeeble on a weapon for a support character, you just never know when you're going to need it. And she, you know, has like other debuffs that can combine with Enfeeble that the other characters like XIII and Cid, I think, don't have. Yeah, she can have some unique aspects with Enfeeble that the other characters that have Enfeeble, you know, don't have. So yeah, if you look at what you could combine with this weapon for Lucia, first one, this one right here, you get physical defense down, mid to high, and you get earth resist down, high, so you can combine that with Enfeeble. Nightjar does physical defense down high, does some magic defense down to mid, that's kind of lame, but physical defense down high, combine that with Enfeeble, great. Her other weapon, the Marine Shooter, it does physical attack down high, up to high, and then it also does fire resist down high. Combine that with Enfeeble, fantastic, right? So as you can see, she has a lot of debuffing weapons that can go great with Enfeeble, magic attack down. Yeah, I think that's most of them. But yeah, as you can see, having Enfeeble on a support character is really nice. And yeah, Guild War, she's going to be great because she's doing Fire Up AOE. She's doing offhand weapon. Probably, I would say maybe physical defense down, because I took a peek at this Guild War here, and it feels like sigils are needed, and Diamond Sigil is going to be good for Guild War. So Nightjar might go well with this weapon for Guild War specifically. That's what I would probably wish list, or you could obviously wish list Marine Shooter for fire resist down. That would work as well. So yeah, Lucia, I think it's a great weapon for wish list. Other wish list weapons, obviously, physical fire is good for Guild Wars. So Cloud, if you don't have his weapon built out, you can wish list that. If you're using Yuffie as the DPS, you can wish list her Strike Moogle Float. If you're using Vincent as the DPS, you would use the Holiday Garm. And then this weapon here for Zac is a great R ability stat stick for any fire DPS. So boost attack 31 and fire potency 52. I'm using that for my Cloud for Guild War, so great weapon to have on in the back. So yeah, that pretty much does it for the Lucia banner. I think it's great. I think I'm probably going to pull on this. I might pull a page and then go to try to hit OB6, you know, using my weapon parts and whatnot. You know, if you got a lot of Lucia weapon parts, man, don't be afraid to use them for limited weapons, because odds are she ain't probably going to get another limited weapon for a very long time. And yeah, if you are someone that does want to use Lucia in the future, I do advise to grab the costume as well, because Reprieve is just always nice to have on any kind of character in this game. So yeah, that's how I view this banner. Get one copy of the weapon just to have Enfeeble for her, or go to the costume just so you have the, you know, the costume for Reprieve, and then go to OB6 so you can get that high potency on the fire up, as well as Enfeeble lasting longer. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And you get the 2 ATB as well on the AOE, so, and more damage on the fire weapon. But I honestly, I probably wouldn't use this weapon really as a fire DPS weapon. You know, it's a nice little extra benefit, but honestly, I'd probably use her still as a buffer and debuffer in most scenarios. So yeah, that's Lucia. Are y'all going to pull on Lucia, or are y'all going to save for the upcoming limited banner onslaught we have in the future? Yeah, if I pull on this, yeah, I would only probably go a page just barely beyond a page. But if you are going to skip this because you know we're going to have limited banners like Dragon Quest and, you know, 2nd year anniversary coming very soon, I can't fault you for skipping this banner either. So yeah, that is Lucia. If you're going to pull on her, you're not going to pull on her, let me know in the comment section below. So yeah, the other thing that they brought back was this thing again. It's a red crystal only banner for past limit break costumes and weapons. Kind of annoying that it is just red crystals again. So if you are free to play Lightspinner, obviously you're probably going to be skipping this. If you are a paid player, maybe you could go back. But if you're a paid player or like a whale or a dolphin, I feel like you probably have a lot of this stuff OB10 already anyway. But in case you don't, you can go back and get some of these weapons or costumes, like the New Year's stuff here for Aerith and Tifa is still very, very good. The Crimson Staff and the Blue Daffodil, really good weapons. I still use them all the time. These two right here. Bahamut Rod's still great as well. Yeah, I don't really like going backwards in this game, but the only aspects I would like to go backwards on, if you only had like one, if you're like at OB5 and you want to get OB6 or OB9, want to get OB10, that's a reason you would go back to get, you know, for these weapons. But like I said, we do have more limited content coming very, very soon with Dragon Quest 2nd year anniversary. So yeah, obviously if you're a light spinner free to play, you're going to be skipping this. But yeah, 2,500 red crystals per 10 pull is very, very steep. So yeah, I'm obviously not going to be doing this. So, but it is there for, you know, if you want to do that. All right, so let's go into the rest of the updates here. So going to check out the rest of the notices. Guild Battle 13. Let's check this out real quick. I did put together a quick team to kind of give you an idea of what I'm thinking for Guild War. For me personally, I would run Cloud, Angeal, and Matt at the moment. But if I pull on Lucia, that's going to change things a bit. So in this initial setup for Cloud, I would go with his Physical Fire Sky Splitter weapon, obviously. Offhand, I would go Bahamut Greatsword just because of the haste proc. But if you have Lock Sword, that would be better in this case. If you have a built-out Mystic Sword, that might be better for our abilities as well. But that's what I would run for Cloud, because that's just what I have. Back weapons, I would go Ultimatic, Enemy Launcher, boost attack, physical ability potency. This is also boost attack, physical ability potency. And then, like I said, Crystal Sword is amazing because of boost attack and high fire potency. So Cloud would be pretty good shape here. Level 7 P attack, level 7 boost attack, level 8 fire potency, Flame Blade Arcanum, level 3 ability potency, level 7 physical ability potency with 15,486 attack, or yeah, 15,468 attack, and he has all fire potency stat stick materia, so 7.6, 7.8, and then 7.7. So Cloud is doing pretty well. Oh yeah, I gotta change this limit break. So Cloud as a main DPS, very, very good, very powerful here. For Angeal, I was using him as a kind of like a sub DPS, but mainly a debuffer as well. So physical defense down with Greatsword as well as Veil. He would also use Volcanic Heat for the fire resist down up to high. You only need one copy to get up to high. If you get it to OB6, you get high on the first cast. And then you also do get some fire damage too, like I said, so you can use them kind of as a sub DPS. This battle did change. I did do one quick run just to see how it was, and there are sigils included. You need Diamond Sigil and Triangle Sigil. It wasn't like this before when we faced this behemoth. So yeah, it seems like you have to bring that. That's why I think Lucia is going to be great with her Nightjar, because she can do physical defense down as well as Diamond Sigil break. So yeah, I'm not sure how this team is going to handle Diamond Sigil break, so you got to see for yourself real quick. Gonna have to do some more mocks and you know, figure some things out here. I'll do another guild battle video though once I do some mocks. But anyway, yeah, for Angeal, the rest of his back weapons, I would do like just P attack all ally weapons. These two right here, boost attack all allies with a little bit of buff debuff. He's just running fire potency stat sticks, so yeah, he actually has pretty good boost physical attack, as well as, you know, being kind of a buff debuffer. Only level 2 buff debuff, but yeah, maybe instead of that boost attack, I could give him more buff debuff with some like physical attack or something like that. I don't know. You can change some things around, because those buffs will fall off pretty quick with only a level 2 buff debuff. Alright, so Matt, he would do his Matt Murrah, the Daryl Plattis, so he would do physical attack up AOE, physical attack, and then magic defense up AOE. That would help both Angeal and Cloud, as well as having boost physical attack all allies in the main hand. Really, really nice. And then you would do Luminary Sword for fire damage up AOE, but you would have to cast it 3 times. The annoying thing about this weapon. And yeah, that would help Cloud and Angeal also do more damage. So with this setup, you would have physical defense down, you would have physical attack up AoE, you would have magic defense up AoE, fire resist down. You have all bases covered except for Enfeeble. And yeah, that's the kind of the thing you're lacking on. And then I would learn like boost attack all ally weapons, boost physical attack all allies, boost attack all allies. So yeah, that would be my Matt here. If you don't have the Christmas outfit, I like the Christmas outfit more in this instance because of the extra buff debuff, but you can also just run his Dark Knight setup if you have that. So yeah, this is the team I was thinking about initially, but with Lucia, if I ran Lucia, I would probably run Aerith in the 3rd slot. So if you run Lucia, you probably run her new weapon as well as, I'd say, Nightjar at the moment for physical defense down plus Diamond Sigil break, and then you could run Aerith as the 3rd character with fire resist down plus Kamara for physical attack AoE. You would have all bases covered. You have fire resist down, you'd have Enfeeble, you'd have defense down, you'd have physical attack up, fire up. So you'd have everything covered with that setup. Or instead of Aerith, you could run XIII because he can do physical attack up AoE if you have his limit break weapon. You could also do fire resist down with one of his other weapons. So yeah, you could have all bases covered with Cloud, Aerith, Lucia, Cloud, XIII, Lucia. That's what I'm thinking about at the moment. Obviously, Yuffie is usable as well as a DPS. Vincent's usable as a DPS. Hell, Sephiroth could be a debuffer with fire resist down, defense down, and Enfeebles. So there's a lot of different ways you could go about this guild battle, but this is kind of what I'm thinking at the moment. So yeah, but I did one mock run of stage 3 and it was a pain in the ass because of the sigils. So I'm gonna have to see, mock this and figure some things out here. So, all right, that's pretty much covering the initial stuff with Guild War. I will have another video in the next day or two, kind of going more in depth on how to handle it. So yeah, that's Guild War. So next thing here, event critical threat for Yuffie. So this critical threat was super easy, by the way. I just brought a physical quake Tifa. I didn't even need a water setup, and that worked. I just watched Janelle's video on it, and I pretty much emulated it exactly. So yeah, pretty easy for the crash battle. You are getting a striped Moogle flag for the weapon here. It does Defaithra Surge, magic attack down, low to mid, HP, magic ability potency on the R abilities. I think it's a XIII weapon, right? Assume it is, or no, it's a Yuffie weapon. Okay, so it's a Yuffie weapon. Prize details. So if you, as you can see, there are Yuffie specific weapon parts. So absolutely farm this out. Get those 100 Yuffie weapon parts. Weapon parts, like the greatest thing in this game outside of blue and red crystals. So get those weapon parts. All right. Also, do the first clears for the event. Get your 100 crystals for each first clear. All right, so outside of that, we got login bonuses. Campaign. So log in, get 1,000 blue crystals, get some Aerith specific stuff, weapon parts. Oh, you get weapon parts. Oh, hell yeah. Weapon parts, tickets, gotcha tickets. New chapter release, get up to 1,000 blue crystals, Aerith 5-star guaranteed weapon tickets. Yeah, I think the login bonus is here. So yeah, just farm, just get through this, and then the missions, I assume they're in the campaign here. So yeah, get a bunch of draw tickets. Oh yeah, it's 50 weapon parts. I already did the chapter. You get 50 weapon parts for Aerith, so that's really nice. Really, really nice. And outside of that, I did the chapter 9 already. Kind of went exactly how I thought it would. Sephiroth comes swooping down. Aerith turns around, smacks him with Kamara Wand, and opens up a new timeline, and it's amazing. Nah, I'm just... It went how I expected. I think they handled it pretty well. I think this is the most effort they probably put into a chapter in a long time. Very similar to OG, old FF7. Yeah, definitely check that out. And yeah, I think that pretty much is going to cover it for this update video. Yeah, if you're going to pull on Lucia, let me know. If you have any other questions about Guild Battle or anything else, let me know as well. So yeah, that's going to do it for this Ever Crisis video. If y'all enjoy my Ever Crisis content, please give this video a like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all on the next one. Also, Donkey Kong Bonanza comes out tomorrow, baby! Yes! Been looking forward to that game for a long time. Cannot freaking wait. So yeah, that Guild Battle video might take a couple days because I want to play some Bonanza, man. Donkey Kong. See you on the next one. Later.